it's officially been more than 3 hours that firefighters from Montgomery Fire and Rescue have been fighting this fire. I'm going to step aside so we can show you a different perspective than we've seen. Look straight through those wooden pallets, and you can see that multiple firefighters are using hoses, still fighting these flames. They've actually gone down quite a bit since the state that they were at 3 hours ago, which is hopeful news. But again, Lieutenant Gubbs from Montgomery Fire and Rescue has said that a fire of this size with this much smoke does take a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort.
That's right, Mark. We were actually at a protest earlier at Fairview Ave, and all of the protesters there made their way over to E.D. Nixon Elementary School, where Mayor Reed is having his press conference. You can see now one of the protesters here is actually speaking about some of the things that they think need to be changed in the community. We'll go ahead and let you take a listen here.
And so if you say that you are a law-abiding citizen and you make these laws, abide by them. If you say that it's equal opportunity, then show us. But good faith, I can tell you can make a real good faith right here. We have an officer, everybody familiar with this case, killed Greg Gunn in 2016. Not only did he kill...
Well, Mark, for about the past hour now, there have been several protesters out here. Earlier, we saw they were on the other side of the street here, and then after a while, they eventually crossed the road and advanced, facing police. You can see that there's some barricades out here. I spoke to police earlier, and I said, how long are you guys planning on being out here? They said, well, we do still have that 10 o'clock curfew in place, so people are now actually starting to leave the scene. A lot of people asking police, why can't we go to the steps of the Capitol? Why is that not allowed? And police are simply just not giving them an answer.
Well, John, hundreds of protesters stood right here on Toomer's Corner calling for justice and racial equality. For over 3 hours, protesters walked these streets chanting no justice, no peace, and Black Lives Matter. At one point, protesters walked right out to the center of Toomer's Corner, took a knee, and recited a prayer. Now, the protest was a peace. Now, a little after 5 o'clock, we're walking right now. There are still some protesters here on Toomer's Corner. You can see them holding their signs up. They've been here for several hours holding these signs, making their voices heard. John?
Jordan, thank you very much.
Come on out here. If you want change, come on out here. Change don't come.
Peaceful Black Lives Matter protest took place on West Fairview Avenue. Some protesters sharing their own experience with police brutality.
They almost killed us the other day for no reason. They snapped me out my vehicle. I'm reversing. He ran up on my car, bumped his car, because they blocking us in for no reason. What do we do? What the proper cause and what we did? Just pump gas?
Meanwhile, just around the corner, Mayor Reed was holding a press conference. Protesters decided to head there in an effort to let their voices be heard by city officials.
You been beat by the police?
Nope.
Your brother or sister?
Nope.
You don't understand. Y'all can't talk to this man here who was beaten Thursday night.
Right here. Yep.
2 or 3 of them. That's who you talk to. They have the answer.
So we just want people to listen to us. I'm 29, been in this city a long time. I know how it feels. And I just want you to know that. That's all. I just want you to know that. I appreciate you for listening. That's all.
Earlier, they stopped violence.
A Montgomery business called More Than Tours has clients all across the country. The owner has been concerned, though, about her clients during this pandemic, specifically those living in hot spots. Now she's providing them with a little piece of art to help.
It felt really good. I could feel the love, and also just walking around, you get to stand out. And it's also New York City, so everybody's trying to stand out, so I had a leg up.
I saw a local woman that was making masks. And I asked her if she could make some coverings for me, and she did. And so I just wanted to paint them and send them out just as a little bit of, sharing some of the love and let people know that we were thinking of them in New York in some of these hot spots.
Well, this is perfect. This is exactly what I need. And it was coming from a place of love and concern, and knowing who Michelle is and how she functions, I loved it right away.
So it's been a real blessing. I had a call from another gentleman. He said, I put mine on every day, and I think of you all and think of my experience in Montgomery, Alabama, every time I put my mask on. And so that's what we want. We want people to remember us, number one, and number one, be safe. And then number two, just remember the experiences, and then hopefully they'll come back when this is over.
Art heals. I believe art heals. And this effort that Michelle has done to send us around to people is just a testament of love and support. And it's also just life-saving, you know, that's major.
For the last 9 years, and we look forward to it anxiously and anticipatorily every year. We want to do something tangible for our students to encourage them and those who need a little help. We want to do that and make sure that they are on the right path.
I'm coming, actually, I've been here several times. I went to AUM for undergrad, so I've come to College Day here several times. The church, especially in the black community, has always been integral to our development, and being away from home and able to come to church and enjoy fellowship with people who, you know, I felt were going through the same things I was going through was instrumental in me.
It's just that energy of young people realizing that we recognize what they're doing in terms of going to college and the positive contribution they can make. We just want to encourage them to go further.
It starts with their involvement in all phases of helping young people come to Christ and get to know themselves and stay on the right track.
When you're almost there, you can't help but tell God thank you.
We're going to do some innovative things from the city standpoint to really push them forward. And we want to work with our churches all across the city to help do that. And we also want to listen to our church leaders.
There is no 10th win this season for the Auburn Tigers. The Outback Bowl here in Tampa belonging to the Minnesota Golden Gophers, 31-24. It was a nice start for the Tigers in the game, though. Noah Igbenogany delivering the first boom of the new year. His first quarter 96-yard kickoff return for a score put Auburn on top midway through the first, 10-3. But it would be a first half dominated by the Golden Gophers. Minnesota would outgain Auburn 291 total yards to 110 in the first half. A Tanner Morgan to Tyler Johnson touchdown, putting the Gophers on top 24-17 just before the break.
They did a good job of staying on the field too. And like I said, the offense, we didn't get very many first downs early. Just stay on the field.
Boobie Whitlow would go up and over for the Tigers in the third quarter on a 3-yard touchdown run, knotting things up at 24-all. But the backbreaker in this one in the fourth quarter, Morgan to Johnson, part two. This one, 73 yards. Minnesota taking the lead and would never look back. The Golden Gophers winning the Outback Bowl over Auburn 31-24, outgaining the Tigers by 262 yards.
Bottom line is they made plays, and they made the plays to win the game when the game was on the line, so you got to give them credit. You know, you look at it, I mean, I really think you got to give them credit. I think our guys, we didn't overlook them. I think our guys were ready to play. I think our guys played hard, but they made the plays, we didn't.
We never just had that explosive run that we were hoping for. They did a good job in the box.
A sour note to end on for the Auburn seniors as they go out with a 9-4 record and 35 wins over the last 4 seasons.
It just hurts more because like this is like the seniors' last game in the Auburn uniform. Wherever we may go, like you'll always remember this one.
Keep your heads high, you know, for the seniors. Got a lot of special guys in that locker room. Got a lot of special guys. We're going to have a lot of special opportunities.
It's crazy because you laid it all out on the line. Like from the end of the game, when the clock hit 0, I was still giving it my all, trying to find a way. You know what I mean? Even though they were kneeling the ball, still trying to find a way.
Coach Malzahn's bowl record now sliding to 2-5 in his 7 seasons as Auburn's head coach.